So, check this out, people. Two things I want to talk about today. First, DJT. DJT is up some 150, 200% since, I don't know, a couple of weeks, right? I just sold one of my calls at a 900% profit, right? I'm holding on to my shares, which are up about 150%. I have two more calls I'm holding on to, one for Friday and one for after the election, November 15th. And so hopefully if Donald Trump wins, the stock will continue to rise. Right now I'm up. Right now I've gotten all of my investment. And so even if the stock tanks, I'm okay because my initial investment was returned to me on just that one call alone, right? Now, that's the first thing. The second thing, GME went up some 10% overnight after market when most people cannot trade, right? And now you got people coming onto YouTube like Donahue George, that scumbag, who just made a video talking about GME had a run. GME had a run because Roaring Kitty sold Chewy, he dumped Chewy, and he may have bought into GME, and that's why GME went up 10%. And he calls that a run, as if though stocks don't go up 10% every single day. And this is how these scumbags on YouTube take advantage of their followers, of their listeners who don't pay attention to the stock market, who don't pay attention to the stocks they're invested in. They rely on these scumbags, these YouTubers who get on and lie to them the same way Donahue George just lied when he came on YouTube talking about GME had a run after market. And watch. Morant's Rant is going to come on today. He's going to make a video talking about GME had a run, celebrating, jumping up and down like idiots as if though a 10% run after market when no one can sell, no one can buy. They want to pretend that this is a great thing. And when the market opens, the stock immediately tanks. And they don't look at that aspect of the market or the stock. They simply pretend that because the stock is up 10%, there's a reason to celebrate. And so you have these scumbags who entice you to buy into these shitty stocks and to hold, because one thing is buying into a shitty stock and then selling when it spikes. Because I'm not holding on to DJT. I don't care how high it goes up. I'm going to get my profits 30% or more. I've already cashed out at 900%. And I'm going to cash out my shares as soon as he becomes president, if he does. Because stocks don't go to the moon. And so you got these scumbags, right? Like Morant, Donahue George, a lot of these stocks who lie to people and try to convince them to diamond hand and hold on to these piece of shit stocks just because they go up 10% after market. Notice that GME always goes up 10, 15%, 20% after market, and as soon as the market opens, the stock tanks. One thing is if the stock goes up 30, 40, 50%, yeah, you have every right to celebrate. You have every right to say that GME had a run. But to go ahead and make a YouTube video talking about GME had a run because it went up $2, you're an asshole and you're a liar. And so I'm calling you out, Donahue George. You are a scumbag and a liar for going up on YouTube and lying to your viewers, not just your viewers, but to the masses. You are one of the reasons why the majority of people have lost their homes, their cars, their families. You're another Trace Trades. You are another Scavenger Stocks, another Rico, and all of these scumbags who were pumping these stocks and now are no longer here because they know that if they didn't delete their channels, they would have been sued. And you have this 2 minute, 3 minute, 4, 5 minute disclaimer where you tell people not to buy, hold, or sell GME while you go on claiming that GME had a run. You're a scumbag, bro. And so is everyone else who is trying to convince and entice others to hold on to the stock when there's nothing wrong with buying into GME. There's nothing wrong with buying into AMC if you're smart enough to sell. But if you're going to listen to these scumbags who are telling you to diamond hand it so they can in turn sell behind your back, you're an asshole. And you shouldn't be on YouTube, bro.